The letter came on a Tuesday. I remember because Tuesdays were trash days, and I was standing at the mailbox in my socks when I saw the university seal through the envelope window. My hands shook opening it. Congratulations, Daniel Reyes. You have been selected for the Hartwell Merit Scholarship Program. I read it 3 times before I believed it. Full ride. Housing. A stipend. 4 years at a school I never thought a kid like me could get into. I ran inside yelling for my mom before I remembered she wasn't home yet. So I just stood in the kitchen, letter in my hand, grinning like an idiot at nobody. That grin didn't last the night. By 7, Aunt Carol was calling. Not texting, calling, which she never did unless something was wrong. Daniel, honey, can you come by tonight? Family thing. It's important. Is everything okay? Just come, sweetheart. We'll talk when you get here. I should have known then. Aunt Carol's voice only got that soft and careful when she wanted something. Her living room smelled like the pot roast nobody was eating. Uncle Tom sat in his recliner, eyes on the muted TV like it held the answers to a test he hadn't studied for. Marcus was on the couch, arms crossed, jaw tight. Grandma Ruth sat in the corner chair, the one nobody else used, watching everything with her sharp gray eyes. Sit, Aunt Carol said, patting the cushion beside her like I was a guest in my own family. What's going on? I asked. She glanced at Marcus. He looked at the floor. Marcus got his letters back, she said. From all the schools. My stomach dropped a little, even before she said it. And? Nothing, Marcus said flatly. Rejected everywhere except state, and even that's just gen ed classes. No program. No scholarship. Nothing. I felt bad for him. I really did. Marcus wasn't lazy. He just wasn't a straight-A student, and college applications don't care how hard someone tries if the numbers aren't there. I'm sorry, man, I said. That sucks. Yeah, he said. It does. Aunt Carol reached over and took my hand. Her rings dug into my fingers a little. Daniel, I heard you got into the Hartwell program. My chest went warm just hearing it out loud. Yeah, today, actually. Full ride. That's wonderful, she said, and for 1 second I actually believed she meant it. Then her face changed, like she was gearing up for something. Daniel, I need to ask you something, and I need you to really think about it before you answer. Okay. What if Marcus took your spot? The room went quiet. Even the muted TV seemed to hold its breath. What? The program, she said, faster now, like she'd rehearsed this. I called the school. They said sometimes, in special cases, a spot can be transferred if the original student steps back. You're so smart, Daniel. You'll get into somewhere else. You always land on your feet. But Marcus, her voice cracked, real or fake, I couldn't tell anymore. Marcus doesn't have anywhere else. This might be his only shot at a real future. I looked at Marcus. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Aunt Carol, I worked for this. I studied for 2 years for those entrance exams. I didn't just fall into it. I know, honey. I know you worked hard. But you're strong. You're resilient. You'll bounce back from anything. Marcus isn't built like that. If he doesn't get this, I don't know what happens to him. That's not fair, I said, and I heard my own voice shake. You're asking me to give up 4 years of my life because Marcus didn't get his grades up. I'm asking you to help your family, she said. Isn't that what we do? Uncle Tom still hadn't looked away from the TV. Not once. I wanted him to say something, anything, to back me up, to tell Carol this wasn't right. He just sat there, hands folded, like he'd already decided this wasn't his fight. Tom, I said, you have anything to say? He finally looked at me. Your aunt's just trying to do what's best for the family, Daniel. That was it. That was all I got from him. Grandma Ruth stood up from her corner chair. She wasn't loud, never had been, but when she spoke, people listened. Carol, this isn't right and you know it, she said. Daniel earned that spot. You don't get to hand out what isn't yours to give. Mom, please. No, I raised you better than this. She turned to me. Daniel, you don't owe anyone your future, not even blood. For a second, I thought maybe I'd say no. Maybe I'd stand up, thank Grandma Ruth, and walk out with my letter still in my pocket where it belonged. But then Marcus spoke, quiet, almost like it hurt him to say it. "Forget it," he said. "Forget I asked. It's fine." He didn't ask. His mother did. But somehow it still felt like it was on me now, like I was the one being cruel if I said no. I looked around the room. Carol's pleading eyes. Tom's silence. Grandma Ruth's fierce, disappointed frown, aimed at everyone but me. And Marcus, slumped there, looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. I thought about my dad. How he used to say family takes care of family, no matter what it costs you. "Okay," I heard myself say. "Okay, what?" Carol asked, though I could tell she already knew. "Okay, Marcus can have it. I'll call the school tomorrow." Carol burst into tears and hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. Marcus stood up slowly, like he couldn't quite believe it either. "You serious?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "I'm serious." He crossed the room and hugged me too, quick and stiff. "Thank you, cousin. I mean it. I won't forget this." He pulled back and smiled at me. It should have felt warm, grateful. Instead, something about it didn't sit right, like the smile was aimed at the room, not at me. His eyes didn't match his mouth. They were already somewhere else, already moving on to the next thing he wanted. I told myself I was imagining it. Just nerves. Just the ache of losing something I'd worked years for. Grandma Ruth caught my eye from across the room. She didn't say anything. She didn't have to. Her face said what I wouldn't let myself think yet. "You just made a mistake, baby. And it's going to cost you more than you know." For months into stacking boxes at Whitfield Logistics, I stopped checking Marcus's page every day. I still checked it, just not every day. Today it was a photo of him at some campus party, red cup in hand, caption, "Best decision I ever made." 43 likes. Not one mention of me. Not one couldn't have done this without my cousin. Just him, living the life that was supposed to be mine. "You gonna stand there staring at your phone, or you gonna help me with this pallet?" I looked up. New girl, maybe my age, hair tied back, already sweating through her shirt sleeves. She'd started that week. "Sorry." "Yeah." I grabbed the other end of the pallet jack. "I'm Priya," she said. "You're Daniel, right? Whitfield said you're the one who actually knows what he's doing around here." "I've been here longer than most. Doesn't mean I know what I'm doing." "That bad?" "That's not what I meant." She smirked. Sure it wasn't. We pushed the pallet toward the loading dock. Mr. Whitfield walked by, clipboard in hand, nodded at me like he always did. Quiet approval, no wasted words. "He likes you," Priya said once he was gone. "He tolerates me." "No, I've seen him tolerate people. This isn't that." She wiped her forehead with her sleeve. "So what's your deal? You just gonna do warehouse work forever?" "I don't know. Maybe. Maybe's not an answer. It's the only one I've got right now." She studied me for a second, like she was deciding whether I was worth the effort. "You got a look about you, like you're waiting for something to happen instead of making it happen. That obvious." Painfully. I laughed, first real laugh I'd had in weeks. I was supposed to be in college right now. Full scholarship. Gave it up. Gave it up? Nobody gives up a full ride. My cousin needed it more. Priya raised an eyebrow. "Did he ask you to?" "His mom did. And he just took it." "Yeah. That's not family, Daniel. That's somebody using you." I didn't have an answer for that, because some part of me had been thinking the same thing for 4 months and hadn't let myself say it out loud. That night I told her about the community college's business program. Cheap, at night, 3 classes a week. "So sign up," she said, like it was the simplest thing in the world. "I don't know. Feels like starting over." It is starting over. That's the point. She crossed her arms. "You keep waiting for some big break to fall in your lap. Nobody's coming to save you, Daniel. You gotta build the thing yourself." Easy for you to say. "I'm already enrolled," she said. "Been going 2 semesters. Marketing in small business classes. You could have asked. I didn't know you were the type." There's no type. There's just people who start and people who talk about starting. That stuck with me longer than I wanted to admit. I signed up the next week. Accounting basics, Tuesday and Thursday nights. I paid for it myself, out of warehouse paychecks, which meant cutting back on everything else. No eating out. No new clothes. I started stuffing $20 a week into an envelope in my sock drawer, telling myself it would turn into something someday, even if I didn't know what yet. Sunday dinner at Aunt Carol's. Marcus was home for the weekend, holding court at the table like he'd invented college. "You wouldn't believe the professors up there," he said, mouth full of mashed potatoes. "One of them used to work at some big firm downtown. Guy's basically a legend." "That's great, Marcus," Aunt Carol said, beaming. "How's the warehouse, Daniel?" Marcus asked, not really looking at me. "Still stacking boxes." "It's a job," I said. Sure. Honest work." He said it the way you'd say something to a kid who wasn't old enough to understand yet. "I mean, somebody's got to do it, right?" A couple of the cousins laughed. Aunt Carol didn't correct him. Uncle Tom kept eating like he hadn't heard. I felt my jaw tighten, but I didn't say anything. What was there to say? "You're welcome" felt too bitter. Silence felt safer. After dinner, Grandma Ruth caught my arm in the hallway before I could grab my coat and leave. "You're quiet tonight," she said. "Just tired." She didn't believe me, but she let it go. "You still working at that warehouse?" "Yeah." "Good. Keep working." "That's it. Keep working." She looked at me the way she used to when I was a kid who'd skinned his knee and wanted her to say it wasn't that bad, even when it was. "Daniel, listen to me. You didn't lose your future in that living room 4 months ago. You just started walking a different road than the one you planned. Doesn't mean it goes nowhere. Doesn't mean it's worse. Just means it's different." "Feels like I lost something, Grandma." "You did. You lost a scholarship. That's not the same as losing your future." She squeezed my arm. "That boy in there thinks a piece of paper made him somebody. You're out there building something with your hands and your head, 1 week at a time. One day the difference between you two is gonna be so clear nobody's gonna need me to point it out." I wanted to believe her. Standing in that hallway, still hearing Marcus's laugh through the door, it was hard. But I thought about the envelope in my sock drawer, the accounting textbook on my nightstand, Priya's voice telling me nobody was coming to save me. "I hope you're right," I said. "I'm always right," Grandma Ruth said. And for the first time all night, I smiled for real. "Now go home. Get some sleep. You've got class Tuesday." I did. And for the first time since I signed that letter away, walking out to my car, I didn't feel like I'd lost something. I felt like I'd started something. 2 years is a long time when you're building something out of nothing. "We lost the Grayson contract," Priya said, dropping her phone on the folding table that served as our desk. "We were renting 100 square feet above a laundromat by then, calling it an office because storage closet didn't sound as good on a business card." "How?" "We had that locked in. They went with a bigger company. Guess we don't look legit enough with 2 employees and a card table." I sat down hard. "We needed that contract, Priya. We needed it." "I know. Rent's due Friday." "I know that too." She rubbed her eyes. "We're not quitting." "Didn't say we were." "You had the face." "I don't have a face." "You've got a face, Daniel. It's the same one from the warehouse. The one that says maybe this was a mistake." I wanted to argue, but she wasn't wrong. That night I sat at my kitchen table doing math that didn't work no matter how many times I ran it. Rent, gas, the small loan we'd taken to buy our first delivery van. My envelope of savings was long gone, folded into the business a year ago. Priya called at 11. "Don't panic," she said. "That's a great way to start a call. I found us a client. Small one. Local bakery chain. Needs weekly deliveries to 6 locations. It's not Grayson money, but it's something." "How'd you find them?" "I didn't sit around waiting for the big break. That's how." I laughed, tired and real. "You're never gonna let that go, are you?" "Not a chance." Marcus graduated that spring. Aunt Carol threw a party big enough for the whole extended family, caterers and everything. Corporate strategy. Marcus told anyone who'd listen, drink in hand. "That's the plan. Big firm downtown, 6 figures within 2 years." "Which firm?" I asked, still finalizing details. He smiled that same smile from the living room 2 years ago. You know how it is. Good things take time. 6 months later, he was between jobs. Then he was consulting. Then he was between jobs again. He's just finding his footing, Aunt Carol told the family. Not everyone lands right away. I stayed quiet at those dinners. Building a business teaches you patience, if nothing else. Lisa found me in the kitchen at one of those dinners, drying dishes that didn't need drying, avoiding the dining room. Can I ask you something? She said. Family thing, I guess. Sure. Marcus told me he closed a deal last month. Some investment thing, said he made almost 10 grand off it. She hesitated, but he asked to borrow money from me the same week. For rent. That doesn't add up. No, it doesn't. She looked at me carefully. You two are close, right? Would he lie to me about something like that? I thought about the smile in the living room, the photos with no mention of me, 2 years of watching him talk big and deliver small. I don't know what he'd do, Lisa. Honestly. She nodded slowly, like that answer told her more than she wanted to know. Kevin found me a month later, waiting outside my office when I showed up to open at 7. Didn't know lawyers made house calls, I said. Not a house call. Warning. That got my attention. About what? Marcus. He's been going around some investment circles downtown, talking about a family logistics business. Dropping the Reyes name like it means something. One of my colleagues mentioned it at a mixer, asked if I was related to some up-and-coming logistics guy. My stomach turned. There's no family business, Kevin. It's me and Priya. 2 people and a van. I know that. Marcus apparently doesn't care. What's he telling people exactly? Vague stuff. Enough to sound impressive, not enough to get caught in a lie. Yet. Kevin crossed his arms. Daniel, I've seen guys like this before. They start small, a little exaggeration here, a borrowed reputation there. It doesn't stay small. What do you want me to do about it? I don't know. Talk to him. Shut it down before it goes further. I stood there in the cold, keys in my hand, unopened shop behind me. If I confront him, it becomes a whole family thing. Carol will say I'm attacking him. Tom will stay quiet like always. It'll blow up Thanksgiving for the next 5 years. And if you don't say anything, then it's not my problem. It's his name he's lying with, not mine. Kevin didn't look convinced. You sure about that? I wasn't. Not really. But I'd spent 2 years building something out of a card table and a broken-down van, and the last thing I wanted was to hand Marcus one more piece of my life to borrow. I'll keep an eye on it, I said. That's the best I've got right now. Kevin sighed. Your call. Just watch your back, Daniel. Guys like that don't stop until something makes them. I unlocked the shop and let him in for coffee, and we didn't talk about Marcus again that morning. But his warning sat in my chest the rest of the day, quiet and heavy, like a debt I hadn't agreed to but somehow still owed. Marcus showed up at my office on a Wednesday, no warning, wearing a suit that looked more expensive than anything I owned. Nice place, he said, looking around at what was now a real office, not a card table above a laundromat. You've done well for yourself. Thanks. What's up, Marcus? Can we talk? Somewhere private. I led him to the back room. Priya glanced up from her desk but didn't follow. So, he said, sitting down like he owned a chair. I've got an opportunity. Investment thing, real solid. But I need it to look bigger than it is. More established, you know. Okay. I need to use your company. Just the name. Reyes Logistics on some paperwork, maybe your client list to show volume. Nothing that actually involves you doing work. In and out. I felt my stomach drop. You want to use my business to make your deal look legit. I wouldn't put it like that. How would you put it? Like a favor. Between family. He leaned forward. Come on, Daniel. After everything, the scholarship, the head start I got because of you, this is nothing. This is one signature. There it was. The scholarship. 4 years later and he was still cashing that check. Marcus, that was 2 years ago, and it was your mother's idea, not a loan I'm still collecting interest on. So you won't help me. I'm not putting my company's name on something I don't understand, involving investors I've never met, for a deal you won't even explain properly. No. His face changed, Fast, like a switch flipping. Unbelievable. I asked for one thing. You're asking me to lie to investors, Marcus. That's not a favor. That's fraud. It's not fraud, it's marketing. It's fraud with better lighting. He stood up so fast the chair scraped the floor. I gave you a chance to make this right between us, and you're going to sit there and lecture me about ethics? From your little warehouse turned office. Get out, Marcus. He got out, didn't slam the door, which somehow felt worse. The rumor started within a week. Your cousin's been telling people you forgot where you came from, Aunt Carol said over the phone. No hello first. Says you're too good for family now that you've got some little company. Did he tell you why he asked me to lie to investors on his behalf? He said you refused to help him after everything he's done for this family. After everything he's done? Carol, I gave him my scholarship. And he's grateful. Daniel, he really is. But you can't hold that over him forever. Family helps family. You used to understand that. I sat there with the phone against my ear, feeling 2 years of quiet patience crack right down the middle. I understand that I'm done being the only one who has to prove it. She hung up on me. First time in my life Aunt Carol ever hung up on me. The next family gathering, I wasn't invited. Nobody said it outright. The group text just stopped including me. They are seriously freezing you out. Priya said when I told her, over coffee at the office. Over you saying no to something illegal. Over me saying no, period. Doesn't matter what I said no to. That's messed up. Yeah. You okay? I thought about it honestly before answering. Not really, but I'm not sorry either. Kevin called that same week. Heard you shut Marcus down. News travels. In this family? Always has. He paused. You did the right thing, Daniel. For what it's worth. Doesn't feel like it. Feels like I just lost half my family over a signature I didn't sign. You didn't lose them. You just found out what they valued more, you or the story he was selling them. That landed harder than I expected. Grandma Ruth called me over for coffee that Sunday, just the two of us, no crowd, no drama. I heard, she said, setting a cup in front of me. Heard what version? That you're ungrateful and forgot your family. She snorted. I also heard what actually happened, from someone who isn't Carol. Doesn't matter. Point is, I know you didn't do anything wrong. Feels like the whole family thinks I did. The whole family believes what's easiest to believe. Marcus tells a good story. Always has. Doesn't make it true. She reached over and patted my hand. You keep your business clean, Daniel. You keep your name clean. That matters more than whatever they're saying about you at Sunday dinner. I nodded, but something in her voice, a warning under the comfort, made me sit up straighter. Grandma, do you think this is over? With Marcus? She was quiet a moment too long. I think that boy wants things he hasn't earned, and boys like that don't stop wanting just because one door closes. He'll find another one. She looked at me steady. Just make sure it's not your door he tries next. That night, I did something I hadn't done before. I opened a new folder on my laptop. Every text from Marcus, every email, the date he showed up at my office, what Aunt Carol said on the phone, word for word as best I remembered it. I didn't know why yet. Just a feeling, low in my gut, that Grandma Ruth was right. This wasn't over. It was just quiet for now. And quiet, I was starting to learn, was usually the calm before Marcus made everything a lot louder. The call came on a Thursday afternoon while I was signing off on a delivery schedule. Is this Daniel Reyes, owner of Reyes Logistics? Yes. Who's asking? Detective Ortiz, Financial Crimes Unit. I need to ask you a few questions about a loan application filed under your company's name. My hand went still on the clipboard. I haven't filed any loan applications. That's what I need to talk to you about. Do you have time to come down to the station today? The office was small, fluorescent lit, smelled like old coffee. Detective Ortiz slid a folder across the table. Recognize this? I looked down. My company's letterhead. My EIN number. A signature that wasn't mine, scrawled where mine should have been. That's not my signature. We figured. Your real one's on file with the state. Doesn't match. She tapped the page. This loan application lists Reyes Logistics as a financial partner in a company called Nexus Ventures Group. $50,000 secured against projected revenue from both companies combined. I've never heard of Nexus Ventures Group. You know a Marcus Reyes? The name landed like a punch I've been waiting 2 years for. He's my cousin. He's listed as the primary applicant. Says here he's your business partner. He's not my partner. He's not employed by my company in any capacity. I've never signed anything with him, for him, or on his behalf. Ortiz studied me for a long moment. I believe you, but I need proof. Records, correspondence, anything showing you had no knowledge of this. I thought about the folder on my laptop. 2 years of quiet documentation I never thought I'd actually need. I have proof, I said. I have a lot of it. Kevin met me in the parking lot after, still in his work clothes, tie loosened. You called the second I said the word detective, I said. You say the word detective, I show up. That's how this works. He leaned against my car. Tell me everything. I told him. The forged signature, the fake partnership, the $50,000 Marcus tried to walk away with using my company's name as collateral. He used your identity, Daniel. That's not borrowing a favor. That's a crime. I know. You have documentation. 2 years' worth. Emails, texts, the office visit where he asked me directly and I said no. Kevin nodded slowly. That's going to matter. A lot. It shows pattern. He asked you legitimately first. You refused. And then he forged it anyway. That's not a misunderstanding. That's premeditated. What do I do? You cooperate. Fully. Hand over everything to Ortiz. No filtering it to protect him. No soft pedaling for Carol's sake. I felt the old pull, the one that had cost me a scholarship 4 years ago. His family. This will destroy the family. Aunt Carol will never forgive you. He's my cousin, Kevin. He stopped acting like one a long time ago. You know that better than anyone. Kevin looked at me hard. Last time you protected the family over yourself, you gave up 4 years of your life. You're gonna do that again? Except this time it's not a scholarship. It's your company. Your name. Everything you built from nothing. I stood there in that parking lot, and for the first time, the choice didn't feel hard at all. No, I said. I'm not doing that again. Lisa called me that night, voice tight, like she'd been crying and trying to stop. I found paperwork in Marcus's desk, she said. Bank statements. A loan application with your company's name on it. Daniel, what is this? He forged my signature, Lisa. Used my business to secure a loan I never agreed to. Silence on the line, long enough that I thought the call dropped. I confronted him tonight, she finally said. Asked him straight out. He didn't even deny it right away, just said it was complicated and I wouldn't understand the business side of things. What did you say? I gave the ring back. Lisa. I've been making excuses for 2 years, Daniel. The job that never started. The deal that made 10 grand the same week he asked me for rent money. I kept telling myself I just didn't understand the business side either. Her voice cracked. I understand fraud just fine. I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm not calling for sympathy. I'm calling because Ortiz asked me for a statement, and I'm going to give her one. Everything I saw. Every excuse I believed. She paused. You should know, I think there's more than just this loan. He mentioned other names. Other investors. I think this wasn't his first time. That sat heavy in my chest. Thank you for telling me. Family loyalty almost cost me my whole future, she said quietly. I'm not doing that again either. I sat with Kevin until midnight, printing every email, organizing every text by date, building a timeline that told the truth whether Aunt Carol wanted to hear it or not. You know this is going to blow up the whole family, Kevin said, watching me sort papers into folders. It already blew up. He's the one who lit the match. I'm just done pretending I didn't see the fire. Grandma Ruth's gonna be proud of you. Grandma Ruth's the only one who saw this coming. Kevin smiled faintly, tired. Smart woman. I looked down at the folder. 2 years of Marcus's arrogance, his lies, his slow unraveling laid out in dates and screenshots. Somewhere out there, he still thought charm and a good story would get him through this the way it always had. He was wrong. For once, I wasn't the one who was going to pay for it. Aunt Carol threw the party this time. First one I'd been invited to in months. Reyes Logistics just landed a national contract, she told everyone at the door, beaming like she'd never hung up on me, never frozen me out of the group chat. We're so proud of Daniel. I stood in the backyard with Priya, a plate of food I hadn't touched, watching family members who wouldn't look at me 2 months ago suddenly wanting photos. This is surreal, Priya muttered. Welcome to my family. Funny how success fixes memory. Yeah, funny. Marcus showed up late, like always, working the crowd with that same easy charm. Big day, cousin, he said, clapping me on the shoulder. Proud of you. I looked at him, really looked, and felt nothing but tired. Thanks, Marcus. He didn't know yet. Ortiz had told me to keep it quiet until the warrant was ready. Don't tip him off, she'd said. Let us do this clean. So I smiled, and I let him talk, and I waited. The cars pulled up 20 minutes later, unmarked, but you could tell. Everyone could tell. The way conversation just stopped, the way heads turned toward the driveway. Detective Ortiz walked through the gate with 2 officers behind her. Marcus Reyes. The whole backyard went silent. Marcus turned, drink in hand, confusion still on his face like he hadn't caught up yet. That's me. What's this about? You're under arrest for fraud, forgery, and identity theft. She started reading his rights while an officer took the drink from his hand and turned him around. Wait, what? This has to be a mistake. Marcus Reyes, you have the right to remain silent. Daniel. His eyes found me across the yard. Wild, desperate. Daniel, tell them this is insane. Tell them. I didn't move. Daniel, please. Aunt Carol grabbed my arm, nails digging in. Fix this. Whatever this is, you fix it right now. I can't fix this, Carol. You have a business, connections, lawyers. Do something. I did do something, I said, and my voice came out steadier than I expected. I told him no when he asked to use my company for a deal I didn't understand. I refused to lie for him. And when he forged my signature anyway and used my business to secure a $50,000 loan I never agreed to, I gave the detective every piece of evidence I had. That's what I did. The color drained from her face. You did this. He did this. I just stopped covering for it. Officers led Marcus toward the car, still shouting something about lawyers, about mistakes, about how none of this was his fault. Lisa stood near the fence, arms crossed, watching without a single tear, like she'd already cried the one she owed him. Aunt Carol turned on me, tears streaming now. How could you let this happen to him? I didn't let anything happen, Aunt Carol. He did this to himself. I just refused to lie for him one more time. He's your family. So am I said quietly. And for 4 years, I was the only one who acted like that mattered. She had nothing to say to that. For the first time in my life, Aunt Carol was speechless. Grandma Ruth walked up beside me and slipped her hand into mine, steady as ever, watching the car doors close on Marcus. You did the right thing, she said, low enough for just me to hear. Doesn't feel like a win. It's not supposed to. Justice rarely does. She squeezed my hand, but it's still right. The backyard emptied fast after that. Some relatives left without a word. A few, Kevin, Priya, a couple of cousins who'd never bought into Marcus's version of things, stayed, quiet, standing with me like a small, strange support system built out of the wreckage. You okay? Priya asked. I don't know yet. Ask me tomorrow. Fair. I looked at the half-eaten cake still sitting on the table, my company's name written across it in blue frosting. Congratulations, Reyes Logistics. Somewhere under that irony was the whole story of the last 4 years, if anyone bothered to read it right. 4 years ago, I sat in a living room and gave away a scholarship because I thought that's what family meant, giving up pieces of yourself so someone else could stand taller. I thought loyalty meant silence. I thought love meant never asking for anything back. Marcus thought something different. He thought the world, and the people in it, owed him whatever he wanted, just for existing, just for asking. He never built anything himself because he never had to. Someone always handed it to him. Until the day nobody would, and he decided to take it anyway. I built Reyes Logistics out of a warehouse job, a folding table, and an envelope of $20 bills I saved one paycheck at a time. Nobody handed me any of it. Every contract, every late night, every failure prayer, and I pushed through. That was mine. Earned, not given. Grandma Ruth once told me I hadn't lost my future in that living room. I just started walking a different road. She was right. It just took 4 years, a forged signature, and a set of handcuffs at my own celebration for me to finally see how far that road had actually taken me and how far the one Marcus chose had taken him. I gave my cousin my scholarship. 4 years later, I built my own company while he was led away in handcuffs. I didn't do it for revenge. I didn't have to. I just stopped standing in the way of what he was always going to become.